Hello, everybody. Welcome back to yet another exciting episode of Let's Play Ace Attorney Miles Edgeworth Investigating Prosecutor, whatever. I'm Reed Chief, and as you can tell, I haven't done this for a little while. I actually suffered a kind of a ridiculous number of illnesses, essentially back to back. One of them may have been a nasty bout of norovirus. Norovirus, not neurovirus. It wasn't a brain thing, it was a stomach thing, and if you've never had it, can't recommend that you get it. Quite possibly the most pain I've ever been in my entire life. I mean, I'm from Florida. I've been stung by a stingray. I've had, run-ins with geckos and other large lizards, things like that. Norovirus, excruciating pain. But anyway, that's not why we're here. We are here to find out why Von Karma is still investigating the crime scene. Let's go. Mr. Edgeworth, is there something wrong? It seems I have been overlooking a matter of vital importance. Considering that he already has the evidence he needs to convict Mr. Master, I feel that Von Karma isn't as composed as he should be. He didn't even tell Detective Bad the full results of the investigation.
Yeah, Von Karma's a bit on edge at the moment. He still hasn't received the autopsy report.
Furthermore, something vanished from the crime scene, and we still don't know why. Detective Bad, please look at the crime scene carefully once more. The blood stain that should have remained at the crime scene has disappeared.
I definitely didn't get any reports about the bloodstain being cleaned up.
But the strangest thing we found wasn't in Mr. Master's room at all.
It's a match. The blood in the fountain is Dover's.
I forgot how taxing that voice can be if I do it that way. Might have to make some adjustments. Mr. Dover's blood vanished from Mr. Master's room, and somehow found its way into the fountain. What does this mean? Okay. No autopsy report. Blood in the water fountain. Bloodstains disappear. The victims was not found in Mr. Master's room. Let's try this. Yeah. Although the victim's blood wasn't found in Mr. Masters' room, it was detected in the water fountain. There would be no need for the killer to conceal the bloodstains after the body was found. It's unnatural that only the bloodstains that were found with the body disappeared. Unless the body was moved, the blood would have still remained on the chocolate. Don't tell me someone removed the body and then erased the bloodstains? Okay, well. It's possible that the body was removed from the crime scene, and the autopsy report still has not arrived. Although we have a murder weapon and a suspect, we don't know much about the body. I've been investigating under the assumption that the body has been discovered. Perhaps this assumption was wrong from the very beginning. Why didn't Von Karma give Detective Bad the autopsy report? To understand that, yes, I must turn my logic around. My thinking shouldn't be, why is Von Karma hiding information about the body? But rather, what if Von Karma doesn't even have the information to begin with? What happens if I think of it like that? It's possible that the body wasn't removed by police. It's possible that the body wasn't removed by the police for autopsy. It was moved and hidden by the real killer. Mr. Edgeworth. I've heard many dark rumors surrounding Von Karma. He's a prosecutor who forges evidence, fabricates testimonies and makes backroom deals. Yeah, I've heard that too, but what does that have to do with this? I try to avoid judging others based on rumors. And I didn't let those rumors influence my opinion of Von Karma. Until today. It seems he is a man who would distort the truth. Distort the truth? You don't mean forgery? I do. And I can't allow him to get away with this.
I must return to the prosecutor's office for now. Not a word to that attorney.
Roger.
What do you want, defense attorney?
I want to know the truth that you've been hiding.
Fool. Are you trying to mislead the police's investigation again? If you interfere with the investigation anymore, I'll be forced to reprimand you myself.
Objection!
Police. No. My objection is with you.
What?
Isn't it a prosecutor's job to ensure justice for criminals?
What are you saying? I have no time to debate the job of a prosecutor with you. However, I will tell you one thing. My job is to ensure all those a prosecutor found guilty. Before the perfect proof, there can be no room for doubt.
Objection!
And to find that perfect proof, you would even stoop to forgery?
Ha! I was wondering what you were going on about. You intend to accuse me of forgery, do you? Or don't you?
Yes. And it's for that reason you did not allow Detective Bad to investigate.
What do you mean?
The real reason Detective Bad wasn't investigating was not so he could keep an eye on us. It was to hide the fact that you never found the body. I got so into that I just pointed in real life at an imaginary Von Karma. Okay, here we go.
What?
They never found the body?
Objection!
You cretins! You will cease with these ludicrous accusations! I will not tolerate any further insults!
In that case, let us verify the body. If you do, we will have evidence that shows whether I'm right or not.
The burden of proof falls on you, defense attorney. I have no reason to comply with your baseless conjecture.
Objection!
You must have noticed it too, the lack of bloodstains at the crime scene. So why did the blood vanish? And more importantly, where did it go?
Foolishness. Why would anyone erase just the blood in the chest that contains the body?
Yes, that's exactly right. If the body had been found there, the disappearing bloodstains would have no meaning at all. However, what if the body was already gone? To erase the traces of the body being there, one would have to get rid of the bloodstains as well.
Why make such a fuss over those blood stains? It seems like a trivial detail to me. Or are you saying that you can show me where those bloodstains went?
In court, everything must be said with evidence. Isn't that right, Von Karma? In that case, I'll show you the evidence supporting my claim. Which piece of evidence shows where the blood in Mr. Masters' room went? Oh, I don't remember this case well enough to figure this out. Maybe this? No. Maybe on the bloodstained cloth. Maybe on the missing cloth. Yeah, I'm gonna try that.
Take that.
As you can clearly see, this is where the blood disappeared to. Okay, I'm wrong.
Objection.
I see no problem. With this flawed logic, you're the one who should disappear.
Oh, I can't just disappear.
Typical defense attorney. I have no time for you. I must be going.
Hold it.
Von Karma, wait, please look at this first. Which piece of evidence shows where the blood in Mr. Masters' room went? Okay, let's look at all the evidence. Not that. Not that. Wait a minute. There's a Treasure makes chocolate Jeff Masters' room. The cause of death seems to be a hard blow to the head by a blunt object. Some circumstances are unclear in regard to the treasure's blood stain on the before the ship's fallen. Treasure was closed. Nope, probably not. That would be weird. I was kind of thinking to myself, well, is the blood like in the teapot? What is this? We already looked at this. There's an engraving on the bottom. It says PH. It's the initials of the creator, Pierre Hoquet. Miss Hall and Mr. Master seem to be big fans of this sculptor's works. Initials, huh? If it were mine, it'd be RS. Why don't you try carving your initials on your own belongings? Just kind of hoping that, well, yeah, that was a bit far-fetched. Kind of hoping that the blood would just be in here. I don't know. This is a rather splendid design. You think so? Seems a little eccentric to me. I'm not even sure he had poured tea out of it. Rather than the practicality of the design, focus on its artistic merits. Mr. Edgeworth's art sense is too high for me to understand. I actually really like the design of that too, but I don't think that's a piece of evidence we're looking for. No appearance found. I wonder if you have to present that and be like, it's in a room that we can't get into. We'll come back to that. Let's try this.
Take that.
As you I'm gonna lose so much health for this because I don't know what I should be presenting. It's probably really obvious. Shake desserts. Maybe it's on the plastic mold? Okay. Where did Mr. Masters' blood go? There's only 3 more. Oh! Oh! The statue started bleeding. No, wait. Was that in the future or the past? Fuck. Ah, man. This is awful. Oh, no. Was it salty because it had his blood in it?
Take that.
Yeah, okay, that was a bit much. That would have been weird.
Hold it.
Oh, boy. Okay. On there. What a cute little flippin' photo. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna try my theory. Oh, God. I'm afraid I'm just gonna wind up presenting everything. Okay, alright.
Take that.
Jesus, I'm really striking out here. I would probably just start the video over, but I'm already 15 minutes in, and I don't feel like doing that. I'm sorry, everybody. Okay. Well, it would be so dumb. Oh my God. I had to present Dover's blood? Oh. That was terrible. Oh, man. I'm such a moron. I had a piece of evidence called Dover's Blood, and I submitted every other thing. Let's just keep going. That's embarrassing. There were traces of the victim's blood found in the fountain. Traces of Mr. Masters' chocolate were also found in this very fountain. In other words, the blood was washed down the stream, which then flowed into the fountain. All of this points to only one possibility. After the body was removed, someone erased the bloodstains. Von Karma, where was the body really found? If you really found the body, you should be able to answer.
How do you know this information? How do you know the results of the water composition test on the fountain?
Because I allowed them to investigate.
Bird, always a thorn in my side. From here on out, I will not allow you to associate any further with this case.
It's not like you were letting me do much anyway.
Von Karma, you still haven't answered my question. Or are you admitting to the fact that you didn't find the body after all?
You say I never found the body. There is your evidence.
He's never going to confess.
I have nothing further to say to you. Gregory Edgeworth, this matter will be decided in court. We'll see just how well your logic holds up there.
Von Karma, I know your methods are wrong. I promise, without fail, I will expose the truth you've hidden. Detective Bad, I'm sorry. It's because you let me investigate that...
No, this was bound to happen sooner or later. This is also the first time I have been restricted in my investigation. Your theory that they never found the body sounds pretty close to the mark.
That I will make clear in court.
If there's anything I can do to help, let me know. Even though I'm no longer in charge of this case.
Then, though I'm very sorry about this, I have one more favor to ask of you. Hey, what are you guys whispering about? I want to know too. This will be my trump card in court. The information I've gathered up until now should be enough to prove Mr. Masters' innocence. But if all else fails, I'll have this ready. Your trump card? You'll see at the trial. Wow, I get to be at the trial too? Of course, you are my assistant after all. I'll be an ace attorney too next year. Von Karma will never beat the two of us. Right. Although I hope to clear Mr. Masters' name before you become a lawyer. If Von Karma is to be my opponent, he'll want the trial ended in a day. That's right. We have to save Master Jeff as fast as we can. After all, this is you we're talking about. I'm sure you'll beat Von Karma. Oh, that's sad. Because in the future we know he doesn't. Jeff Master, alone in a dark cell, arrested on false charges. I must expose Von Karma's lies if I am to save him. To be continued right now. We have about 10 more minutes of this puppy. Let's see how far we can get. And that's all Uncle Ray knows about the IS-7 incident. So that's what happened in my father's last case. The truth of the IS-7 incident. What happened at the trial? In the end, Von Korma defeated us. So you couldn't prove Mr. Masters' innocence? We had gathered plenty of evidence to prove it, but Von Korma was even more despicable than we thought. He was a prosecutor who would do anything for his guilty verdict. That's right, and he really did use any means necessary. Because of this, the trial dragged on for about a year, until it finally reached a conclusion. I'll never forget that fateful day when the judgment was passed down, the 28th of December. It's April now, so it's been a little over 17 years. How time flies. The 28th of December, 17 years ago, I was watching from the gallery that day. Before the trial, your old man noticed that Mr. Master was acting strangely. He was at the breaking point, both mentally and physically. He wanted to be found guilty. No, Mr. Master didn't fake a confession, did he? Yeah, that was what Von Korma was aiming for from the start. When your old man tried to expose the fact that the body had not been found, Von Korma used the power of his police cronies to quash that argument. He even went as far as to prepare a fake autopsy report. Then, they made Mr. Master give a false testimony and confess to being an accomplice. With Mr. Masters' confession, the situation quickly became dire. But your old man had a trump card up his sleeve. Was that the trump card he was talking to Detective Bad about? Yeah. That trump card was to be our insurance, in case Mr. Master confessed. He had asked Detective Bad to have Mr. Master's interrogation recorded. Detective Bad wanted to know the truth too, huh? After he was dropped from the investigation, he never stopped caring about the case. Even when he was involved with other large cases, he really was the definition of a true detective. The defense presented the recording, which proved that the confession was forced. Well, it seemed the detective in charge of the initial investigation and interrogation, Rip Lacer, took all the blame and was charged and dismissed. Still, at the trial, your old man exposed Von Korma's corruption, and Von Korma received his first penalty from the then chief prosecutor. The only penalty in his 40 years of prosecution. However, Mr. Master didn't want the trial to continue any longer, and the curtain closed on the trial that day with the verdict of guilty. My memory of that time is fuzzy, but I was also there, watching my father's final trial. And I think his final regret became my own. Your old man wanted a retrial to prove Master's innocence, but he passed on before he could fulfill his wish. After getting entangled in another case. It breaks my heart even now that I didn't return home with him that day. And what's more, to blind myself to my own worthlessness, from my own worthlessness. Uncle Ray put all his hatred on you as a traitor for being Von Korma's pupil. I'm sorry. Don't be. It's natural you would hate me. After I became a prosecutor, I was able to get Von Korma to show me the case file. Mr. Master was found guilty for the murder... Mr. Master was found guilty for the murder of Isaac Dover. That's not right. Wasn't Mr. Master found guilty of being an accomplice? But this case file says guilty of murder. There shouldn't be anything unresolved in the cases handled by Manfred von Karma. Wait, can I take a look at that file? It looks like the charges have been rewritten. Whoa. Look at this. Jeffrey Master, 39, creator of the dessert contest. I can't read the bottom, whatever. The victim's body was found inside a dessert made by the suspect. This led to his arrest. In jail, he was diagnosed with hypoglycemia, and he was treated with medicine. After his confession, he was something. Wrong person. The charge is accomplice to murder. This is a copy of the original case file I received from the courts. Oh no, I could have read it, whatever. Why would the charge be altered? This file was given to you by von Korma, right? Maybe he just didn't want you to know the truth, since you're Gregory's son. He would have wanted to avoid another retrial before the statute of limitations ran out, after all. So what I had come to believe back then had all been a lie. If you didn't know about it, just make sure you know it from now on. The statute of limitations is long expired, but the truth still sleeps, right here. After your old man passed away, Uncle Ray took over as Mr. Masters' defense attorney. Although von Korma also had another prosecutor take over the case. Perhaps he thought that since his opponent was a rookie, he didn't even need to turn up. In the end, the real killer was never found, and Mr. Master was found guilty. No. Is there nothing we can do even now? Since the killer was never found, he can't withdraw his confession. I found out after the trial that Mr. Master made a deal with von Korma because von Korma had threatened him. If you don't confess, Catherine Hall will be held under the same charges. That's terrible. I don't think Mr. Master really thought that Kate was the killer, but to protect her, he faked the confession. Miles, on the day that Knightley Boy was killed, why do you think Uncle Ray was at the prison? Ah, I see. You went to see Mr. Master, didn't you? I said I'd visit him every day. I couldn't keep that promise, but I asked Katie Pie to look into him for me when I couldn't. Through rain or snow, she went every single day without fail. But nothing has changed, and Mr. Master still serves his punishment. That's so sad. Isn't there anything we can do? That's why I came here. Because I knew those ice sculptures would be on display here today. So, what are you gonna do, Miles? I am a prosecutor. My position is different from you and my father, Miles. But, moving past my position, what I want as Miles Edgeworth is to know the truth of these two cases. It is for that reason that I am here. You really are your father's son. Well then, if that's what you've decided, I'll support you all the way. I'd better leave the IS-7 documents and evidence with you then. Alright, here are the documents. By the way, the parts in orange are Uncle Ray's old notes. IS-7 incident file, updated in the organizer. Thank you. And now, here's the IS-7 evidence. There's a lot, so make sure to look it over while you investigate. Received a lot of IS-7 evidence from Mr. Shields. Right. I'll check through it later. Anyway, there are so many strange things about this case. Indeed. Those involved in the case 18 years ago have reunited and another incident occurs. Replicas of the statues from 18 years ago were displayed in the Winter Palace, and poison gas was released in the Autumn Palace, which had been disguised as the Winter Palace. The two chemicals in the Pisces case, normalium and fatalium, were mixed, causing an outbreak of poison gas. The victim of the poison gas was Dane Gustavia, a person involved in the IS-7 incident. Because he was unconscious, he received treatment in the Zodiac Art Gallery's infirmary. Finally, the dead body found floating in the fountain. And once again, the ice sculptures having melted. There are deep connections between the two cases. It's possible there are still some clues left from 18 years ago. Right. Let's get started.
Just 1 second. Don't tell me you've forgotten about me. Didn't I tell you that I'm the one in charge of this case?
Prosecutor Edgeworth, if you intend to continue disrupting Sebastian's investigation, the word guilty will be added to your PIC report. What does she mean, guilty? Please allow me to assist in your investigation as before. I appreciate your proposal, but I'm afraid I must overrule it. That was fast. Even though we're short on hands to identify the victim right now, excuse me, it's only a matter of time until we figure it out. In that case, I shall take that load off your shoulders at once. Regarding the identity of the unidentified body, one person comes to mind.
Really? Then tell us.
Very well. It's not just the sculptures that have made a comeback from the incident 18 years ago. The body in the fountain is... Wait a minute, I mean, wasn't it Catherine Hall? Did I miss something? I think there's a very high chance that the body belongs to this person. Oh, no, it's not. Of course it's not. It's Isaac Dover.
What? I got it.
That's absolutely impossible. Are you trying to disrupt the investigation?
My apologies. Ha! Serves you right. I knew all along you were wrong.
Then why did you say I got it earlier? Please allow me to try again. It's not just the sculptures that have made it. Okay, yeah. Come back from these 18 years ago. The body in the fountain is... It's likely that the identity of the body is the victim of the murder that occurred here 18 years ago. That's a remarkably well-preserved body. Isaac Dover.
It's Icy's body? Hey, who's that? I've never heard of him.
Mr. Isaac Dover, a truly great sculptor. But he was better known as Pierre Hoquet. The sculptures on display here in the museum are all his creations.
So in other words, that sculpture was the best. Somehow I feel a strong kinship with him.
And he was the victim in the IS-7 incident. She knew about the IS-7 incident. Prosecutor Edgeworth, the IS-7 incident occurred 18 years ago. And what's more, the police reported the removal of the body.
That's what's on the record, but I wonder if that really is the truth.
What are you saying?
The defense attorney in the IS-7 incident claimed that the body was never found. Not that the prosecution would ever admit to such a thing. Hello? Really?
Is something wrong, Sebastian?
No, it's just
They said they know who the victim is. It's just as that prosecutor says. It's Dover. Okay, my voice is a little shot. Haven't done this in a while, so we're going to have to find out the ramifications, of that later. Thank you so much for watching. In the next episode, let's find out how these two cases tie together. Adios!